you own a Maverick Air and you hear that beeping coming from your controller, I'm going to show you a couple ways not only to stop the beeping, but to get out there and fly safe. So don't go away. You know, when you get that beeping, the controller is telling you that your sticks are not centered, and that could be a real dangerous thing. One of the first times I even noticed it, I came out, I was out at the site to fly, and I took it out of the case, had it all up, it started beeping. I turned it off, turned it back on, and it worked fine. Thought, well, that's a glitch. Maybe I had my finger against the controller button there or something unique. But then it started happening more often. Then one day I was flying it, and it was going along really nice, and it was coming to me, and all of a sudden it started going to the left. And I thought, man, am I not touching it? Could it be the wind? But it was calm. Something was wrong. So I went back and looked at the controller and how it all worked that day, and watched the flight on the scope in the machine here, and it showed that my actually pushed, you know, the controller to the left. And boy golly, I don't remember doing that. I remember the panic, but I didn't. Anyway, fortunately, I hit some branches, or some leaves really, brought it down and landed it safely. Well, then another time I went out, I didn't have the beeping or anything like this, but when I went out there, I was flying it, and when I was out quite a ways away, and when I was bringing it back to me, facing to me, as I brought it straight back, it started to lower itself at the same time. I was not even touching the stick. So I was going forward, it was lowering. You know how dangerous that became. I ended up having to spin it around and bringing it backwards and landing it. And that's when I realized, you know, these sticks are wrong. So then when I went up, you know, and calibrated, went to the calibration, I could see that when I moved the sticks, that one, when I was going forward, the downward stick was going ever so slowly at the same time with no other action to the sticks. Well, that got me pretty concerned, and it should. Now I went on the web, and then I realized, boy, I'm not alone on this. There is just hundreds of guys who have ran into the same problem. Some of them have sending it back and got repaired or replaced, you know, and I know that they did in warranty, they replaced them with no problem. But you're out of warranty and so forth, you don't want to pay $150. You can go on the web and see how you can take it all apart and clean these contacts, which I think is exactly what the problem is. But I learned a quick and easy way, so before going through all that, sending it in, taking it apart, risking you screwing it up forever, I learned a really, really simple way. Before you take off, before you even turn on your drone or turn on your controller, take your sticks and you wriggle them all around, up and down, all the way around. Move them, loosen them up, move them every which way before you turn on your controller. Now the second thing, when you do turn on your controller, as I am here, then you know the little light comes on, everything goes back to normal, your screen's going to come up and you're going to be able to fly. The other thing to do, if you're really cautious or you're having it a lot, and then I've never had a problem when I've done that since. Whether it beeps or not, I always do that, and I've never had a problem. One other time when I was flying it, I started to see when it was drifting backwards slightly. And you know, you go on the web and that, you see a lot of guys have it drifting one way or the other. I think it's contributed to this problem. And when it started drifting back, I thought, I bet it is. I took my sticks, it's still in the air, and I took my sticks and I wriggled them all over, back and forth and around, just like I was mentioning. The drone hardly even did this. I moved it so fast, but it eliminated it right away. So I thought, I bet that's it. Now another way to check for this, and I think we should take a look at that now, let me bring it up how you can calibrate it, and that's what so many guys have been doing. Okay, let's get up. Now when you want to calibrate it, you don't go through your drone itself. You go up, connect it to your controller, and then you hit enter drone, and then you go enter camera view. And now when you enter the camera view, it will come up, and now hit the little dots at the top, and then hit your controller here, and then it says remote control calibration. Touch that. Now you can look at where they are centered. Now most everybody who has got advice of this on the web is they come and they say, you gotta calibrate your controller, and they go in there and they wriggle it up and down, go back and forth and sideways, and then they learn that, it worked again, but then a while later it comes back. Now one of the things you can do when if you want to really check it out, you're pretty confident that it may be a problem, you can look on this, and as I go up on the left stick down to 100 to the right, I notice that there's no other movement from the other sticks. I go to the other side, up, down, left, right, and then there's no other movements. And also, you go your gimbal up and down, and make sure there's no movement from any of your sticks. Then you move all the way around. That's not even calibrating it. I usually don't have to calibrate it necessarily at all. I have really eliminated this problem completely, enough where I've got confidence to send it really far away, confidently know I'm going to get it back. The beauty of this is it's just a connection in there. It's just a connection that gets for whatever reason. Come on, DJ. I mean, geez, that is something that's used constantly and so important. Because if that's doing what it was doing, like to me, coming down, that could cause a serious problem. So if you're having any of that, I know this fixes for me. This may not be the best way. Maybe the best way is to send it in. Maybe you're gutsy enough to take it all apart and clean all the contacts and so forth. Maybe that's the way to go. But for me, this works. I'm happy. I ain't going to take a chance on crashing this or hurting somebody. So I'm constantly, and just like you're going to bring it up. Before you take off, you're going to check all the directions that you can go, up, down, sideways, left, right, forward, backwards, the whole shebang before you take off and fly anywhere. And make sure you got the satellites and all those things. I don't need to tell you any of that. If you fly these drones, you know exactly how important it is to make sure you got satellites, you got control, and right from the get-go. Not 20 yards away, not 100 feet, and not 100 feet up in the air. Make sure you got that going. And if you have to check it just like I did, and then you know you don't have a problem. If anything shows up, an emergency situation, it's always good to hit the pause button, emergency button, and that should stop you in most circumstances. So hopefully that will help. Send it in if you feel comfortable that way. Pay the money. I'm not saying not to at all. I'm saying this works for me, and I need to share it with you because there's still a lot of questions out there of guys having the same problem that I'm talking about. The part that scares me is what happens if it goes down or goes in a direction and you don't have control. So hopefully this tip's helped. It's important to both of us. Thanks for watching.